Good afternoon, Belize. It's midday and you're tuned in to News at Noon, where we bring you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Paul Lopez, and here's what's making headlines today. GOB responds to joint union with new proposal. Teachers blocked Philip Golson Highway in Carmelita Village. And former PUP Minister Ralph Seca dies at 75. These stories and more are coming up in just 1 minute.
Every night, I bring you the stories that matter, delivering the facts with professionalism and heart. As an anchor, my goal is to keep you informed, connected, and engaged with the world around us. But the news isn't just about the headlines. I'm Sabrina Daly, and each week we look on the bright side with stories that inspire, uplift, and celebrate the strength of our community. Join me every night as we uncover stories that inform, inspire, and connect us. I am News 5.
Welcome back. Cabinet has approved a 4% salary adjustment for joint union members, 1% more than what it initially approved. Late Thursday evening, the government's joint union negotiation team submitted its official response to the joint unions after they rejected an initial 3% proposal from Cabinet. The joint unions are demanding an 8% adjustment to their salaries and the reinstatement of 2 frozen increments. The government's latest proposal falls short of that. According to the letter, the Cabinet approved the 4% increase, an additional increment at the start of the following fiscal year, and a further 4% increase along with a second increment over the following 2 years. And these Cabinet-approved proposals come with conditions. The unions must agree to pension reform in 2 phases. The first is an increase in the retirement age to 60. And secondly, the implementation of a contributory pension scheme. Another condition is that appropriate measures must be agreed upon that tie both salary and increases and increments to performance. News 5 has confirmed that members of the union met virtually on Thursday night to discuss this latest proposal. In less than 24 hours after the government sent its response to the joint union members of the Belize National Teachers Union were back out blocking traffic. This morning, a group of teachers blocked the Philip Golson Highway in Carmelita Village, sending a message to the Briceño administration. These blockades began earlier this week across the country and continued into this morning. So, is this morning's protest a message of discontent from teachers in response to the government's latest proposal? We are yet to determine the outcome of last night's meeting between the unions, but News 5 has confirmed that the joint unions will be meeting this afternoon to agree on their next course of action. We will continue to follow these developments. Today, Belizeans across the nation are mourning the passing of former politician and businessman Ralph Seca. The 75-year-old died this morning just after 3 o'clock. Fonseca became the PUP-era representative for Belize Rural Central in 1993 and achieved great success in his political career, which lasted until 2008. Fonseca is remembered for the opportunities he brought to his constituency and the bold leadership skills. We spoke with former Mesopotamia-era representative Michael Finnegan, who, despite being from an opposing political party, formed a deep friendship with Fonseca. He reflected on their brotherhood and collaboration.
I will say that Mr. Fonseca is one of the few good people I have met in my entire life. We were in different political parties and political opponents, but we were respectful to one another. And we worked together as a team, whether my government was in power or whether his government was in power. And he was one of the most caring human being I have met. A human being with the lack of hatred, malice, jealousy, and vindictiveness. He was the most kind person I have met in politics. I love him dearly, and I mourn his passing, and I will never forget the friendship we shared over the years.
That's a wrap for the news at noon, but don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit greaterbeliefs.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes on Monday morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon. We will leave you with a video reel from our interaction this morning with the Standard 6 class at St. John's Vianney Primary School. They visited Greater Belize Media to end their career week.